All right, let's talk about Hermès. This is a brand that has totally rewritten the rules of luxury. And look, it's not just about the quality of their stuff, which, don't get me wrong, is legendary. No, it's about a brilliant, almost cold-blooded strategy of scarcity. They've somehow turned the act of waiting, the feeling of wanting something you can't have, into the ultimate luxury product.
And is this strategy working? Oh yeah. In 2024, the company pulled in a staggering 15.2 billion euros in revenue. So this isn't some quaint little workshop we're talking about. This is a global economic powerhouse built on one simple, kind of brutal idea. You can't always get what you want.
So you gotta ask the question, right? How on earth did a company that got its start making horse harnesses for European aristocrats end up creating the most desired and, yeah, the most controversial handbag on the entire planet?
Well, to figure that out, we have to rewind the clock. Way back. We're talking 1837. Forget the Birkin for a second. Picture this, a small workshop in Paris. The founder, Thierry Hermès, wasn't thinking about fashion. He was obsessed with crafting the absolute best, most durable saddles and bridles for an elite clientele. The whole foundation of the brand was function, durability, and just pure perfection.
So let's break down this first part, that crucial pivot. How did that obsession with horses become the very DNA of a luxury empire?
This was not an overnight thing. It was slow and deliberate. After setting up their iconic flagship store, the real game changer came in 1922, when the family's heir designed the very first handbag for his wife. But then came 1956, and a little bit of pop culture magic. You've got Grace Kelly, the movie star, using her Hermès bag to shield her pregnancy from the paparazzi. Boom. Just like that, the Kelly bag is born, and the brand is suddenly cemented in the public's mind forever. But the origin story everyone knows and loves, that one's even better. Fast forward to 1984. Picture this. The actress Jane Birkin is on a flight, and she accidentally spills the entire contents of her straw bag everywhere. She starts complaining to the guy sitting next to her, who, get this, just happens to be the CEO of Hermès, Jean-Louis Dumas. She says she just can't find a good weekend bag, so what does he do? He grabs an air sickness bag and sketches out a design right then and there. And that is how the Birkin was born. It's the perfect story of this shift to something deeply personal and iconic.
So what is the secret sauce here? What actually makes these bags so ridiculously special? Well, ingredient number one is this, almost religious devotion to craft. And this isn't some marketing slogan, okay? It's a real core philosophy, and it boils down to 3 words: one artisan, one bag. The process is just intense. It starts with sourcing the absolute best leathers on earth. Then, the assembly, which uses that signature saddle stitch they perfected back in their horse harness days. Finally, a crazy tough inspection to make sure it's flawless. But the really mind-blowing part? That's hidden in the numbers.
So think about this. You have one artisan. That's it. Not a team, not an assembly line. One single person is responsible for the entire bag from the first cut to the final polish. And that one person, they're going to spend 18 to 24 hours of pure, focused, expert labor on that single item.
And the result of all that time and all that skill? One bag. This insane commitment is the source of everything: the quality, the value, and ultimately the scarcity. And that leads us perfectly to the second key ingredient in the Hermès formula: the architecture of scarcity. See, they figured out a long time ago that in the world of true luxury, what you can't have is often way more desirable than what you can.
This is where Hermès is just playing a totally different sport. While most luxury brands are pushing for more volume and using sales to drive business, Hermès does the exact opposite. Supply is deliberately kept low. You will never see an Hermès sale. And most importantly, to even get a shot at their top products, you need a proven track record as a customer.
You know, there's actually an economic term for this whole phenomenon. It's called a Veblen good. And it sounds kind of backward, but here's how it works. The more expensive something gets, the more people want it. That crazy high price isn't a bug, it's a feature. It screams status, it screams exclusivity. And Hermès bags are the absolute textbook example of this in action.
So you're probably asking, okay, how do I actually get one? Well, it's complicated. You can't just walk in and buy a Birkin off the shelf. Forget about it. You can't get them online. There's no official waiting list to sign up for. No, you have to build a relationship with a sales associate. You demonstrate your loyalty to the brand by buying other things, scarves, shoes, jewelry, and then, maybe, you'll be offered the opportunity to purchase one. The sales associates are the ultimate gatekeepers. Now, when you build a fortress of exclusivity this strong, you're gonna attract some challengers. It's just inevitable. This level of control and mystique brings on huge hurdles, from corporate raiders to major legal battles and tough ethical questions. And believe me, this brand has weathered some serious storms. Back in 2010, its biggest rival, LVMH, launched a hostile takeover attempt. In 2024, they got hit with an antitrust lawsuit in the US over their sales practices. And on top of all that, they're in a constant, never-ending war with counterfeiters and face ongoing protests from animal welfare groups.
But here's the wild part. Despite all that pressure, the strategy is bulletproof. While many of its competitors, even giants like LVMH's fashion division, saw their growth slow to single digits in 2024, Hermès just kept rolling with powerful double-digit expansion. Their model almost seems to insulate them from the rest of the market.
So how did they defend themselves, especially from that LVMH scare? The founding family, now in its sixth generation, circled the wagons. They created a special holding company called H51, and they locked in a majority of the shares until at least 2041. This move makes another hostile takeover nearly impossible and ensures the family's long-term vision stays in place. The value this system creates is it's hard to wrap your head around. Get this, over the last 3 decades, a Birkin bag as an investment has outperformed the S&P 500 stock index by over 500%. I mean, think about that for a second. It's not just a handbag. It's a financial asset that has proven to be a better investment than gold or stocks.
Which all leaves us with one final big thought. We live in an on-demand world of instant gratification. Everything is a click away. And yet, the most successful luxury brand on the planet has built its entire empire on the exact opposite principle. So it really makes you wonder, in an age of instant access, is the future of true luxury not about getting what you want, but about the art of the wait?